This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about ESPN getting it wrong about Jalen Hurts once again, but we're going to get straight into it. All right, so ESPN gets it wrong again about Jalen Hurts. Wrong again, wrong again. And let me go ahead and play the clip. It was a debate between Stephen A. Smith and Mad Dog. I believe that's his name. But again, let me go ahead and play the clip and explain why they're just wrong again.
In one season. I've never seen that happen before. Brock Purdy is good, but do we think that Brock Purdy is better than Jalen Hurts? No. Do we think that Trey Lance is better than Jalen Hurts? No. Do we think that Derek Carr is better than Jalen Hurts? No. How about Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, Jared Goff? Do you think that? No. But Jordan Love and damn sure not Dak Prescott or Daniel Jones. All I'm saying is I'm looking at Jalen Hurts. Will he be better? The answer will be yes. He will exceed what he did last season statistically. And the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl.
See, that's what he likes to do. He likes to take a question, change its framework to set up his little monologue for 4 or 5 minutes. The question wasn't if he's the best quarterback in the NFC.
I noticed
the question was, is he better than he was last year?
And I
took the exact opposite.
He was arguing about the other quarterback. That wasn't the question,
who
Steve.
cares?
That wasn't the question,
That was who cares?
It was.
It was whether it's going to be better. I mean, you're going to be better than these guys.
Excuse me, I know what those dissertations you gave in the first block. You ain't talking about me.
But yeah, sometimes you got to make it a little bit more.
Stop. The fact is, I answered the question. I gave a little extra sauce. I gave a little extra sauce. But I did answer the question.
I wasn't doing the same thing about Jonathan Taylor. You're right.
He was good on Jonathan Taylor. He's the expert.
I didn't say he wasn't good. I said it was a dissertation.
And how dare you sitting there saying that I assailed his character? If you listen to the radio show, I went on and on and on.
I didn't say you assailed it. I said you usually don't. You usually hold people accountable for lack of character.
Not him.
I didn't say him. I said, but now it's an opportunity to elevate his.
He sat on the bench the whole year, and then Tua got hurt in the Georgia game, and he came in and won the game. He's a classy kid. How dare you bring that up? Make me look bad.
I'm saying he's one of those people you can't do what you normally do to.
But I've been praiseworthy of him.
I don't recall.
Oh, you don't recall. Anyway, 3 reasons why he can't be better than he was last year. Okay. And I'm not saying he's going to fall off the face of the earth. And by the way, Lewis, you were on your
and by better, what do you mean? He can't be better.
I mean, he was great. I mean, last year he was top 3 or 4 quarterback.
Yeah, okay, you go ahead.
I just don't think he'd be better.
Yeah.
3 reasons. 1, he doesn't have his offensive coordinator.
Okay.
2, the league is going to go to school on him. Everybody knows 2 years ago he wasn't that great. Now they all know how great he is, and they're going to go to school on him a little bit. And 3, their schedule is much harder. They play the Jets, Miami, Buffalo, at Kansas City, San Francisco. The division's a little better with the Giants being. So last year they played Carolina, Houston, the Bears, Detroit. They played a lot of bad teams. This year they played the first place schedule. They play the AFC East, throw in San Francisco and Kansas City.
Okay.
So when you're playing the better opponent, you're not going to be as good as you were last year just because there's a schedule right in front of you.
Yeah.
They got the Ravens. They got a hard schedule, this team. So if you look at schedule, offensive coordinator, now the head coach of the Eagles, and the idea that he's got to drop off a little bit for crying out loud. He was so good last year. So I'm not saying he's going to drop off the face of the earth. I still think he's a very, very good quarterback, and he's probably the best quarterback in the NFC.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he's going to be better than he was a year ago.
Well,
see, I don't like this notion that they're just defaulting that because Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC, we're going to go back to the Super Bowl. Yes, I believe that is the case. But I also believe that Jalen Hurts is better than most of those quarterbacks in the AFC. I believe that he will be competing for an MVP. All right, so Mad Dog put out his case. He said, first, it's the offensive coordinator. We lost the offensive coordinator, right? And Shane Steichen. And Shane Steichen definitely had his flaws. And I just think Jalen Hurts overcame most of them, in my opinion. And I believe Brian Johnson, a lot of people just don't know, especially the casual fans or people that don't watch the Eagles as much. They keep forgetting they just promoted his quarterback coach. Wasn't like we got an outside dude and we got to figure him out. You just promoted everybody up on the offensive side. So the offense is not going to change much. It's probably just going to be different tweaks. Like I heard they had Devontae Smith in the backfield doing a Texas route, or they did some type of trick play with Kenny Gainwell throwing it deep to Grant Katera. Like you're going to see more mix up, but you're going to pretty much see the same offense plus more going into this season. All right. So that's debunked, right? Because it's just a promotion of everybody else. It wasn't an outside dude. All right. Second, he says something in the matter of what schedule. I think because the schedule is harder, and I look at it the opposite way from everybody. People keep saying because the schedule is harder, Jalen Hurts is going to have a harder time. I say because the schedule is harder, Jalen Hurts going to have to finish more games. Like for example, Tennessee, he didn't have to finish. The Steelers, he didn't have to finish. Mind you, got to count the 2 games he didn't play against the Cowboys and the Saints. And then the Giants game was meaningless because they just wanted to get into the playoffs. So that wasn't a real game. They played they second string. We let Jalen Hurts play just to warm him up, and we really didn't trust Gardner Minshew, sadly, to win that last game to lock up the #1 seed. So again, I don't like that case at all. And pretty much he said he's probably gonna stay the same and regress. I don't know about that. I like a little bit what Stephen A. Smith said. If we watch the full show, he said something in the matter of like, why wouldn't he progress? Why wouldn't he? The offense is basically still the same. But again, Stephen A. Smith went back to what everybody else is saying, is that because he's the best quarterback in the NFC and the NFC don't have the best quarterbacks in the world, Jalen Hurts is just going to default and win that NFC conference and get back to the Super Bowl. So again, I don't like that notion either. And look, Devontae Smith, I know I've been talking about Devontae Smith a lot. So Elias Shore Parks put out these stats, right? Devontae Smith was targeted 50 times. 50 times with no drops in practice. No drops. So Devontae Smith is about to enter his prime. You got AJ Brown still in his prime. You got Dallas Goedert still in his prime. Offensive line is intact. You got Swift who got something to prove. Kenneth Gainwell who got something to prove. Hell, you got Penny that got something to prove. So you got a bunch of guys that got something to prove. Jalen Hurts wants to win the Super Bowl. Guys in their prime, and you think this team is not going to be better? And why people keep naming the Jets like they're somebody? Yes, they got Aaron Rodgers and those guys, but did you see that offensive line? That offensive line is terrible. So we about to play a terrible Jets offensive line. And we know our defensive line. Hassan Reddick and those boys going to get to Aaron Rodgers. And again, Aaron Rodgers is out of his prime. What makes people think Aaron Rodgers is going to save the Jets? He just brought Green Bay, and the Jets already had a little bit of sprinkle of their guys. We're going to body those dudes. And the Dolphins, they don't have Ramsey there right now. They don't. So who's going to stick Devontae Smith or AJ Brown? You're going to have to put Xavier Howard on one of them, and I doubt he's just going to completely lock one of them up. So, again, I don't know about these super talented teams these dudes talking about, besides the Chiefs, and I will give it to the 49ers defense. But 49ers are deciding to start, what was his name? Brock Purdy, right? So our quarterback just gonna outdo Brock Purdy. So again, these super teams, these dudes talking about, I have no idea who they talking about. Oh yeah, Buffalo, they're gonna compete, but I believe Buffalo is going through something. and their window is closing, and there's some dysfunction in Buffalo. And there's some dysfunction in Buffalo. Again, these super teams these dudes talking about, I just simply have no idea, in my opinion. But who made the Jets just this phenomenal team? Who made this Dolphins team just a phenomenal team? Oh, they got Tyreek Hill and Waddle, but we'll see what their defense is doing. They don't really have a running back. We got two great cornerbacks. So like, yo, we're gonna be good. Jalen Hurts gonna have to finish more games, and his numbers will go up, and he will compete for the MVP. I believe he gets over 30 passing touchdowns. I think the rushing touchdowns is going to dip just a little bit, and his passing yards are going to go up. Again, Jalen Hurts then finished two games, I'm thinking off the top of the head, Steelers and Tennessee. Didn't play two games, and the Saints and the Cowboys. And do that Giants game really count? But we still won it. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about what they said? I personally think they're wrong again. ESPN always get it wrong. But this is Eagle Al.